Okay, I apologize for the messy work area, but this is the place I'm working. It's the place I'm working. So make sure you got a nice clean place to work with, and if you have a vise, it helps. Okay, I wish I had one of those fancy fork vises that the suspension shops have and stuff, but I don't. So, okay. So for this to do the actual changing the fork seals and everything, you're going to need a 30mm socket, okay, 17mm, and you'd be probably wondering, what are those condoms? Yes, they are. You're going to need condoms, so that's one of the things I had to go out and buy more condoms because I ran out, okay. This is what Hades Omega uses so you don't mess up the seals when you put them on, okay. Okay, so yeah, so there's a tool called a bullet, I think is what, and you're supposed to put it on top of the stanchion, and then put the seal in. Okay, I don't think I've ever messed up a seal putting it in. They should be pretty tough, but supposedly the lip on the stanchion is kind of sharp, and it may damage the seal when you put it in. So some people use gloves. I think a condom is better. It's it's the perfect shape. That's what I'll say. Okay. That's but I'm not gonna lie, man. I just bought this. I had to buy like a box of condoms. That one right there, and they're expensive. So okay, they're almost like $1 each. But maybe however many freaking condoms I use already, I could have probably bought this bullet. But then again, you have to buy a bullet for each specific fork, okay? Because they make them in different sizes, okay? So so the good thing about the condom is one size fits all for the most part, unless you got like a massive fork. Then maybe you would need one of those Magnum size condoms. Okay, so yeah, this is what we're gonna use to help put the seal on without damaging it. I went through 2 of them when I did the other one. That's why you see 2 of them there. I messed one up when I put the dust seal in. Okay, one of the thingies. So, and they rip. If possible, don't get the really thin ones. That seems like the only ones they had at Target. So okay, and then you're gonna need a 17mm. Combo wrench, okay, specifically the open-ended part. Okay, we're gonna need that to take the cap off, and what else? And you're gonna need something to drain the oil in, and then you're gonna need some kind of fork seal driver tool. Okay, so I used a rubber mallet, and boy, that's the hardest part, getting those seals in. Sometimes they go in easily, and sometimes they don't. But in my case, it seemed like it was going in, but it wasn't going in all the way. Okay. And then this is my fork seal driver tool. It's basically half of a pipe, PVC pipe, okay? Depending on the size of the fork, this one's a pretty small one. You can also buy a already made one, but I think that's my box of fork seal drivers, by the way. See, this one is a thicker one for a bigger fork. I think that's for the DR650 forks. Okay, a lot of dirt bikes have really thick forks, okay, so this one not so thick, so you don't really need that big a pipe. Okay, so we're going to use that to help drive the seals in. You're going to need your fork oil. I'm going to use a 10-weight fork oil. I think you can use anywhere from 5 to 15, depending on your weight, how you want it set up, okay? I think 10 or 8, I don't know if there's an 8, but I think 10 is the regular size, okay? The regular fluid. And you can adjust the level inside the fork, okay? I'm just gonna show you the settings that I'm gonna use. That doesn't necessarily mean that it would work for you, okay? But I've been tinkering around with my suspension. I'm hoping this will be the final one, the final setup, okay? What else? And then you're gonna need this doohickey, okay? You're gonna need a fork oil level tool. Basically, it's a syringe with a pipe and a dealie to adjust the height. Okay, yeah. So I'm using 108 or 109mm fork oil level. Okay, I'll tell you that now. Okay, so let's get started. Here's me go. Okay, so there's the fork that we're going to be working on. All right, so I'm going to go put the fork in the vise. I'm just going to clamp it where the axle would go. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a long ways up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the top cap off. Okay. To do that, you're gonna need a 30 millimeter, and yeah. So just start trying to take it off. What I'm gonna use. So what you can do before you take the fork leg out is you can before you take the fork leg off of the bike, you can already loosen it just a little bit, so you won't have a hard time taking it out. Okay, but when I put it back on the bike is when I'm gonna torque it. Okay, so what I'm gonna use to help get it off is impact gun. Okay, we're gonna use this guy just to get it, just to start it off. Okay, so I'm gonna hold the outer, okay, the outer fork leg, and just go to town on it. Ooh, okay, I heard some. Okay, and then you're gonna want to loosen it. Make sure this is nice and clean so dirt doesn't fall in there. I mean, we're going to clean it out anyways, but... Okay, and then you're going to want to drop the outer fork leg. There shouldn't be oil coming out of this. Okay, so that's going to drop like that, okay? When you drop it like that, oil shouldn't come out, because when you set the oil level, it's supposed to be like that anyways, okay? It's supposed to be fully compressed, okay? Okay, so... Let's go take that cap off. Okay, so now we've separated the top cap from the outer fork leg, okay, and or the upper fork leg, and then so we gotta take the top cap off the damper rod, okay. So to do that, we're gonna use a 17 millimeter wrench, okay. This guy. We're gonna push down on the spring and pull up on the damper rod, okay. And then stick a 17 millimeter in there, okay? It'll kind of hold itself in place. And then, probably might be a good time to start putting your gloves on. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to unscrew the top cap off. Try not to break your damper rod, okay? So just loosen it just enough where you can take it out by hand. Okay? And then I'm kind of pressing down on the wrench so it doesn't put pressure on the top cap. Okay? And then pretty much when it lets go of the damper rod, it's going to the damper rod's just going to drop in there. Oh, it's already falling. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to very carefully lift that little washer out. Okay, and then there you go. The damper rod's lowering down into the lower fork leg. Okay, so retreating into there. Okay, so you're left with the top cap. Okay, and this kind of washer. Okay, the washer goes like that. Okay, so just put that someplace safe, or it won't get dirty. Make sure you have lots of rags with you because you're gonna get oily. Okay, next thing to do, take the spring out. Okay, there might be oil coming out of it. This is that Bell Ray fork oil that I put in last time. Okay, I'm gonna put it somewhere safe. I just put it. Okay, so what I do is I just put it in where we drain the oil, my drain pan. Okay, just make sure you clean it after. Okay, and I remember which way it goes because the numbers you should be able to read the numbers when the fork is right side up. Okay. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the fork off of the vise. Okay, very carefully. There's no spring to hold it and push it out anymore. Alright. So you're going to take that and then we're going to drain the oil. So we're going to go drain the oil into the drain pan. Let's turn the fork upside down. As you can see, the fork oil is still clean in this, so if it was like kind of black and stuff, then yeah, probably. So what you're going to want to do is pump the fork a couple times. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump the damper rod until you don't feel any dampening anymore. Okay. So yes, you can see there. There's some resistance when it goes out, so you're gonna want to keep on pumping this until that doesn't happen anymore. I think they said like 5 or 10 times in the manual. This stuff is really clean. It's kind of a waste, but I'm changing my fork oil weight also. Okay, there we go. See how it's nice and easy to pump it now. Okay, so just keep on pumping that and draining it until most of the pretty much all the fluid is out. Okay, maybe drain it for like 10 minutes or something. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn it. I'm gonna turn it upside down. I'm gonna leave it like that for 10 minutes and let it drain. Okay. Try not to damage your fork. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it that way for like 10 minutes. Okay, just to make sure all of it drains out. If you have the other fork leg, you could probably start working on that one too. But I've already finished the other one, so I'm just gonna wait. Okay. Okay. So it's been 10 minutes. I went and started cleaning the the fork shields and stuff. But now I'm back. Okay, so I got gloves on. Let's go do this. All right. So just make sure you pump this a couple more times. Make sure there's no fluid coming out. There's still a little bit of, just a teeny tiny bit of fluid still kind of dribbling out, but I think that'll be fine. We can wipe the rest of it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to separate the fork tubes, okay? To do that, first let's remove the fork dust seal, okay? And to do that, okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to remove the fork dust seal. We're going to kind of loosen it anyways. So what you're going to want to do is just get a really thin small screwdriver, and then you're going to want to pry the dust seal off. Okay, be very careful not to scratch the stanchion. Just get it far enough in there where you can pry it off. Okay, don't worry about damaging it. We're going to be replacing it. Okay, there you go. See that? And then you can kind of work it off the rest of the way. Okay, and then you can slide it off. All right. Okay, so what's really holding everything in place is this clip here, okay? And that clip is going to be very hard to get off. So take your really small screwdriver, okay? And look for the end of that clip and start prying it off, okay? I can't. I guess you could put it on a table. It would make it easier, but I don't have really a table big enough for it. Okay, just find out where the end of the circlip, or find out where the end of the clip is, and it's right here. I know you guys can't see it, but okay. So you're gonna want to find the open end, and that's right here. Okay, right here is the open end, and then start prying it off. Okay. Try not to scratch the stanchion. Okay. See it? Okay. So that's off. And then just work your way around. Okay, that should be out, I think. There we go. Okay, so what I do is just move this all the way up. Okay. Okay, yeah, this one just take it off. The other one I was able to do it, but I can't do it on this one. I don't want to stay, dude. So just pry it open until you can get it off. Okay. And try not to scratch the stanchion. Okay. So now you got to start remembering how all this came together, okay? Because you're going to take it all apart soon. This is the fork dust seal, and then you had the clip, and then you have the oil seal, okay? Okay, so to get it out, to get the fork seal out, or separate the two halves, basically you just gotta use it like a, you know, pull it really hard, okay? Okay, and everything should come apart. Okay, and then so here you have your upper fork leg, okay, and then you have your stanchion right here, the lower fork leg. With the damper rod assembly, okay. So turn that the other way, or see if you can drain more oil out of it. Okay, yeah, I'm still seeing a lot of oil coming out. Well, yeah. So just keep on pumping this damper rod until more oil comes out, okay? So first we got the majority of the oil out, and now we're trying to get, you know, what's left in the damper assembly out, okay? You can see it's still excellent condition. I probably didn't need to change this, but I need to change the seal anyway, so. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to keep on draining this until I don't see any fluid come out, and then we'll continue on, okay? Also, what you're going to want to do is try to clean up all the oil around this, okay? Try to get all the oil out of there as much as possible. What you could do is get a napkin and just push it in there, and then like get like a breaker bar or something, or a long rod, and then just push it through there. Okay, kind of like you're cleaning the bore on a gun. Okay, so while you're waiting for that to drain, it's pretty much done already. but you could be cleaning this, okay? So just clean the oil off of it, you know. Try to get as much of that old oil out as possible. Okay, there's a lot of oil kind of trapped in here. Just get a napkin or something. Just wipe out the oil that's just lying around, okay? Okay, and then what you could do is you could get a napkin and just shove it down in there. Okay, should be able to reach it on the other end. And so what I'm using is a breaker bar, a long breaker bar to get it all the way in there, and then you could do it the other way around too. Yeah, in fact. Kind of just swish it around here, okay? That down there. Down that way. Maybe it would probably be better if you use a bigger napkin, but this will work. Get the majority of it out. Okay, make sure you use something smooth. This is pretty smooth, so okay. Clean. And yeah, there. Should be good. Just get another cleaner napkin. Just wipe the outside dry real quick. Okay, and then you can set that aside somewhere where it won't get dirty. Okay. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start taking all the seals out and everything. Make sure this is all clean. I had it sitting on the oil thing. Yeah, probably want to wipe off any kind of oil that's on here. Just try to get as much of the old oil. I'm changing oil weights, and I'm changing the brand of oil that I'm using. So I'm trying to get as much as I can out of there. Okay. If you're using the same stuff, then it's probably not so critical. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start taking the parts out from the damper rod, or from the fork stanchion. Okay. Let's wipe this clean one more time. I've got it on the vise again. So when you take everything out, you're going to put it back in the way you found it. Okay, so just make sure when you take everything out, you put everything back the way you found it. Of course, you're going to have new seals. Okay. All right. So the first thing that's going to come out is this bushing. Okay. So you can tell this bushing is still, supposedly you can tell this bushing is still good if it's still dark colored, okay? If it looks like all this kind of Teflon stuff is worn out, then it's no good anymore. That one I think still looks good. So, okay, so what you're going to want to do is spread it. I know, it kind of sucks to have the gloves on. But spread it out, and then you can pull it out. Okay. Okay. It's really sharp. Okay. And then just take it off the exact way you found it, okay? So. And then the next is this other bushing here. I think this is the inner bushing or something. Okay, and then you want to inspect that. So this still has a lot of that Teflon stuff left in it. Okay, so yeah, you want to inspect that. This has all that kind of Teflon stuff, a dark material in there, okay? You want to make sure that's still there. It doesn't look like it's all worn off, okay? Okay, so the next part that comes off is the washer. Okay, I'll take that out. And then take the oil seal itself out. Once you take it out, that's probably it. You've destroyed it. Okay. And then on the very bottom is the dust seal that you pried out earlier. Okay. Boom. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to want to kind of clean that area up a little bit. All right, so this is where our friend Durex is going to come in handy next. All right.